Deep thinkers don't suffer because they're weak. They suffer because their mind never turns off. Let me explain. Most people experience life on the surface. Something happens, they react, they move on. Deep thinkers don't do that. They replay moments, they analyze tone, they question meaning, they search for patterns that aren't obvious. And while that sounds intelligent, it comes with a cost. Because when your mind goes deep, it doesn't stop at good thoughts. It digs into doubt, regret, what-ifs. And once you're there, getting out isn't easy. Deep thinkers don't just feel emotions, they dissect them. If something hurts, they don't just feel the pain. They ask, why did this hurt? What does this say about me? What did I miss? What does this mean for the future? While others distract themselves, deep thinkers sit with the feeling. And that makes them look calm on the outside, but overloaded on the inside. That's why deep thinkers often feel tired even when they haven't done much. Their brain has been working overtime. Here's the part no one talks about. Deep thinkers suffer because they are too aware. They notice emotional shifts, subtle rejection, hidden tension, unspoken expectations. They sense things others ignore. And awareness without boundaries turns into mental exhaustion. Because when you see everything, you carry everything. Another reason deep thinkers suffer? They struggle to let things go. Not because they want to hold on, but because their brain refuses to close the loop. They want understanding. They want closure. They want the full picture. So instead of saying, it is what it is, they say, but why was it this way? And sometimes there is no answer. That's when thinking becomes self-punishment. Deep thinkers also suffer socially, not because they hate people, but because small talk feels empty. They want depth, meaning, real conversations. But most environments don't reward that, so they stay quiet, they observe, they listen. And people mistake that for distance, coldness, or lack of confidence, when in reality, they're processing more than anyone else in the room. Here's the truth. Deep thinking is not the problem. Unfiltered thinking is. A powerful mind without limits turns inward. And instead of building clarity, it builds pressure. That's why deep thinkers are more prone to overthinking, anxiety, emotional burnout, and feeling misunderstood. Not because they're broken, but because they were never taught how to manage depth. So what's the solution? Not thinking less, thinking with structure. Deep thinkers need silence without guilt, boundaries with their own thoughts, and moments where analysis stops. You don't need every answer, you don't need every meaning, and you don't need to solve everything. Sometimes clarity comes not from thinking more, but from stepping back. If this video feels personal, that's not an accident. Deep thinkers often feel alone because their inner world is invisible. But you're not weak, you're not strange, you just have a mind that needs direction. And when a deep thinker learns to filter their thoughts, they stop suffering. They start seeing clearly. Let's level up with clarity.